name is Terry. I'm living in Kasarani. I stay with a single mother.
Rĩtwa kwa njĩtagwo Hana Wanjiru na ciana ici ciakwa ndĩcirerete ndĩ nyika na ngoretwo me ciana igĩrĩ nĩ ndĩmarereire itũũra rĩrĩ rĩa Kasarani.
Maciarirwo gũkũ?
Maciarirwo ũrĩa mũkũrũ aciarirwo Eldoret nake ũyũ aciarirwo Kĩrĩngĩtĩ. Nĩtwacokire tũgĩũka gũkũ hĩndĩ ya crisis tũgĩũka tũgĩkombora nyũmba. Harĩ na mũrũ wa ithe witũ tũthomaga nake wĩ kanitha tagwo Karũmba, agĩũka akĩnjĩra nĩekũmuoya amũrũgamĩrĩre athome cukuru ya computer free. Na niĩ ngĩona ũndũ ũcio nĩ mwega nĩ tondũ mwana ũyũ ndarĩ na mĩaka ĩyo mĩingĩ ya gũtũma age gũkorwo agĩthiĩ cukuru, no mwana mũnini. Ngĩona handũ ha ndũĩ na ũndũ ũngĩ ngĩamũroririe no ndĩmũroririe mũgũnda. Ngĩona ndamũroria mũgũnda no nĩho ciana ikinyaga ikora mũciĩ nĩ tondũ nĩekũigua nĩ mũnogu aigue no orire mũciĩ. Na maũndũ ta macio nĩmo maratũma ciana igathiĩ igatuĩka nginya ciana icio igatuĩka ciana citarĩ na mĩtugo mĩega nĩ ũndũ wa kuma mũciĩ. Itũũra rĩrĩ nĩ rĩkoretwo rĩna mathĩna maingĩ. Andũ arĩa mekuo aingĩ nĩ wakibisi, aingĩ nĩ akomboria nyũmba, mĩgũnda nayo ĩna thĩna gũkombora. Rĩu mũciari ũcio arahota gũkombora o tũirio twa kũhe ciana icio mahũne makũre, no kũmũtwara na mbere gĩthomo ndangĩhota. Ciana nyingĩ cingĩaga mũthoko wa gũthiĩ secondary nĩ tondũ wa kũringana na nginya mĩrerere ya kwao mũciĩ nĩ aramĩona ona cukuru nĩ akoragwo arĩkĩtie kũmenya atĩ we aika TIIT hatirĩ kũndũ arathiĩ nĩ tondũ nĩ arona nginya gĩthomo kĩu kĩa primary tiga kĩratuĩkire kĩa bũrũri ica ikuhĩ rĩ arakoretwo agĩthomithio ona nditindito nĩ ũndũ wa aciari kwaga mahinya. Rĩu mwana ũcio arĩkia 8 nĩ kũroraga mũciĩ na ũngĩcera matũũra maingĩ ũguo ũkore kũndũ kwandĩkĩtwo ciana cia aruti a wĩra nyũmba ũraigua mwana ũcio umĩte Kasarani.
All these factors combined define and mold today's Elburgon, which is in itself a perfect study case on the causes and effects of poverty in Kenya and Africa as a whole. This town epitomizes the sad reality of Africa's incredible potential, all gone to waste. However, despite all the odds that they face, the Elburgon residents are far from giving up. Their admirable resilience in the face of these daunting challenges has moved some generous souls to action. One notable project is a company that grows and exports roses internationally called Elba Flora. It is owned by a native son of Elburgon who, after acquiring wealth in the timber industry, has given back to the community by becoming a source of employment for hundreds of people. It is ventures such as these that provide a much-needed boost and inspiration in the battle against poverty.
We have an expansion where we have a vision of employing more than 600 workers, at least to assist this town and eradicate poverty, trying to train them in this industry or the flower industry. As you can see what they are doing now. They are trying to prepare the land for expansion.
What kind of a relationship do you have with TIIT and its directors?
They are a good friend of ours because they are part of eradication of poverty in Elburgon town. We have seen what they are doing. They are trying to train young people. Most of them they are dropouts. They are training them to be computer literate. That is also encouraging us because if we want students who are educated, at least they can give us somebody who can at least who has a knowledge in computer. Because this industry we have to deal direct with internet. We have to browse every day. We have to know the market, how the market is doing. So, and also we had a project once when we wanted to take a show of our varieties. So we decided, because of what they are doing in Elburgon town, we decided to give them the work. So they are good friends of ours.
Okay.
The Tennessee Institute of Information Technology is a daring initiative started in Elbogon town by Andrew Thuku. It is wholly inspired by the multitude of obstacles that face the town and its inhabitants. A visiting TIIT mother gives us a clear example of TIIT's impact in real people's lives.
Na mama leto makwa ne Jacinta Waithera wa Mwangi na negeneire roho wa Ngai ne tondu ciana ici ciakwa ne ndicirerete na mathina maingi ne tondu ona hau makinyite ndieciritie ni magakinya ho ne tondu ongo ne tocio mukuru ne ikaraga kanjuria ni atia angika na riu nie nani ngamwira tweterere roho ne tondu ndire no ndungi ingihota gukiria hau ndakinyite ni undu ucio hindi iria arikirie kirathi kia 8 ngiamba ngimutwara kothi ya gutuma ngiaga mbeca cia kumurikiria na agicoka mucii na tugaikara tukigianganaga nake tondu ni arenda kwiruta undu na riu nacio mbeca ni ciagire riu niguo ndamurire tuikare twetereire Ngai mubango wake ni undu ucio ni ngenete ni Ngai ne ndo wa cukuru ino ahingũrithitie haha nigetha ithuĩ tũtarĩ kĩene ciana citũ igateithĩkagĩra haha.
She visited the TIIT studio in order to check on her daughter's progress.
Nĩ ũndũ ũcio nĩ ndĩrona magegania mũno hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ndĩrona akĩũhota tondũ ndĩciragia no mũndũ wĩna kĩrathi kĩa igũrũ biũ ũngĩhota kũruta wĩra ta ũyũ.
In order to fully appreciate TIIT's role in the fight against poverty and illiteracy, one has to first gain a clear understanding of the Kenyan grade school system. A child's school life begins on the kindergarten level. After 3 years, they are then enrolled in grade school. Fortunately, in 2002, the Kenyan government started offering a free grade school education for all kids. This education consists of 8 years of general subjects. After 8 years, all students are then required to take a standardized national exam. They then go home for several months, waiting to be called on to high school. Sadly, it's at this stage that many kids drop out for various reasons. For some, it may be lack of funds, meaning that a lot of bright, deserving students are denied further education.
One of them? Yes. And? Which other one is a conjunction? Yeah. Also. Also. Good. Which other one? Yeah. Back. Yeah. Any other? Yes.
We talked to a grade school teacher in order to find out more.
Since it was, okay, my name is Arandi Kamangwati from Elbogon, Nakuru district in Kenya. Schools in our republic, Kenya, are just but growing schools. Those schools that are developing just a bit through this little amount of money that parents get. The children that are in these schools are quite a number. Per class, maybe 50 against one teacher. Education part of it is rather so tasking because parents have not realized why children go to school and what they can be thereafter. Not many feel, about 30 to 20% go to secondary schools.
We then asked about those who don't go to high school.
These children are potential in a way, but given the opportunity, given the chances and the material things to study, the children will do marvelously well. They need a bit of help, they need a bit of guidance to realize their future. But seeing them in the streets, I feel wasted if my energy and my education when I find children failing to go and achieve their best in life.
TIIT takes in these 8th graders, ignored and abandoned by society, but in whom there is the greatest potential of contributing either to society's development or to its retrogression. We approached TIIT's program coordinator, who gave us some insight into TIIT's unique role. After 3 years in operation, I'd say I'm pretty confident in the niche that we've created as a program that slowly brings about a social and political transformation through an education system that teaches wealth creation to a neglected but yet formidable age group. Let's take the grade school setup in Kenya, for example. It works very well to a certain point. For 8 years, kids are taught all the basic subjects that they need to function in modern-day society. After the 8 years, a small percentage goes on to high school, leaving the large percentage sitting idle and having nothing to do. So naturally, there arises a question out of that. What happens to the 45% of the 3 million 8th grade graduates who graduate every year in Kenya? That's 1 million kids, all right?
Yeah.
Let's look at Elbogon, for example, so that we can get a clear perspective on what happens. This kid has struggled all the way since he was born. He's watched his mother struggle just to feed his siblings, all right? Just to get enough food for the family is a struggle. So, if you're a kid and you graduated and you had just enough education to understand what life is all about and not enough to be employed, then of course you're going to hate yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Because society doesn't have a framework to bring you into the molds to make you a productive citizen. So what happens is a lot of those kids then end up being destructive, okay?
Yeah.
The girls get married off and have 10 kids, and the young men, they just start terrorizing the communities. Okay, they start robbing people at night because they don't have any viable way of making a living. So what we do at TIIT is we try to address that one specific issue. How to grab hold of that age group, how to educate them in a meaningful way in a short span of time, so that they can start making a living, however little it may be. All right? Even if it's that $1 a day, that's enough for one kid in Kenya to be able to just survive by themselves, to feed themselves and to clothe themselves.
Yeah.
All right? So that's what we're trying to do here. We're taking all the 8th grade leavers who don't have any other opportunity or who don't have any other way of making a living, and we try to educate them in a short time using a computer. The reason we've chosen the computer, because it's just the perfect tool for reawakening the confidence in any child. Because in Africa, I don't know too much about the other Asian countries, a computer is still something that's of a mystery to most kids. So to take an 8th grade graduate and convince them that they're going to learn this crazy machine and learn how to operate it and start doing stuff with it, like editing videos and making movies with it, then you're able to get that kid to believe in themselves. Even if they don't ever become video technicians, even if they don't ever become computer engineers. So we're using the computer, a very modern technology, to solve an age-old problem.